Now, let's jump into John 3:16, the main verse, or the main topic of our discussion today. We're going to read up to 21. Now, before we read that, we're going to see that what the love of God was and what God gave because he loved us. And we also see a reward and a condemnation for those who take heed to this love that God had for us, and to this gift God had given us, because God gave the entirety of heaven that man may be saved. So let's read from 16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. So God gave his only begotten Son. Ellen White writes very clearly that God gave the entirety of heaven, every single part of heaven. Now, we've done a series on the fall of Lucifer, and in that we talk about this love. Maybe I'll put a link of that series in here, but we talk about that love in that series, where it was a love with no reservation, a love with no backup plan, a love with the entirety of mankind resting upon one man, Jesus Christ, that came down, being divine, came down to take upon fallen man nature. He took upon the fallen man nature. He did not take upon the nature of Adam before Adam fell. So that perfect nature of man, he took upon the fallen nature. So in this nature, Jesus could have been tempted and could have sinned. And God knew that, because again, Jesus was 100% human. So when he had come down in the fallen state of man, he could have lost everything, and God would have lost his only Son. And God knew that. But even still, God gave the entirety of heaven. For what? In 17 we see, for God sent his Son into the world, not to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved. So Christ came to this earth, that through him the world may be saved. So he did not send Christ to come and condemn the world. So this is where we see that difference between understanding. So the Jewish nation, they thought the Messiah was going to come as a king, as a ruler, as a conqueror. That's the second coming of Jesus. When Jesus comes the second time, he is coming as the judge, whereas when he came the first time, he came as a Lamb of God that takes away the sins of the world. And this is the big difference between Jewish doctrine and Christian doctrine. So the truth that was in the word, that's a big difference. So the first time Christ came, that's what we see in 17. That the first time when Christ came, he came that the world through him might be saved and not condemned. Okay, and that's very important to understand, brothers and sisters. John 16 and 17, the reward and the purpose of Jesus coming to earth.